club competition really gets into the deep end right here, right now, as we look forward to match number 1 in the Champions League phase. Who, of course, will get off to a win, who, of course, will get off to a stinker. We're going to get into that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're looking forward to the Champions League. It is match number 1 in the league phase. That's right. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe. You want subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, Champions League, whoa, football. We're going to all hear under Warruski. That's right, of course. It all kicks off here, of course. League phase, finish in the top 8, and you go through to the knockout phase. And if you finish in the middle of the pack, guess what? You got a bit of drama around the corner. And of course, you don't want to finish it in the bottom 8 because you'll be eliminated. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are, but let's get into it. And of course, look forward to this. It is the Champions League, and it is the nitty gritty right here, right now. So what we're going to do, of course, is take a little look at the clubs taking part in the Champions League. And I'm going to test my badge knowledge. So here are we. We got Ajax, Arsenal, Atalanta, Atlético Bilbao. We got Atlético Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Leverkusen, Bayern München, Benfica, Borussia. We got Borussia Dortmund, Chelsea, Club Brugge, Copenhagen, Eintracht Frankfurt, Galatasaray, Inter Milan. We got Juventus, Kairat, Liverpool, Manchester City. We got Marseille, Monaco, Napoli, Newcastle United, Olympiakos, Paphos, PSG, PSV, Qarabag, Real Madrid, Slavia Prague, Sporting Lisbon, Spurs are in there. They are there. You just can't see them very well. Union Saint-Gilloise and Villarreal, of course. Those are the clubs that make up this Champions League. And, of course, what about the games? Well, let's get into it right here, right now, and have a get a look at my predictions for the first round of games. All right, then, folks, these are the games that are going to kick us off the league phase of the Champions League. Now, they are split over the course of 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. Of course, a win is paramount to get yourself up and running. So we're going to get into it right here, right now, by looking at the first game on my list, and that is Atlético Bilbao taking on Arsenal. What a game that is. Coming at the San Mams. That's right, Ernesto Valverde's boys, of course. Back-to-back defeats for them, of course. Heading into this, I am recording this on Sunday, so I don't know what La Liga matches are going on Sunday, and of course, Premier League still to be had as well. So bear that in mind. So coming into this on back-to-back defeats according to my data against Arsenal, who've won 4 and lost 1 over the last 5 matches. They played for one time, these two clubs. It was an Emirates Cup, which is a Mickey Mouse Cup, doesn't really count. So coming into this, Arsenal are on the back of that 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest. That was this past weekend. And Bilbao, yes, in fact, did lose to Deportivo Alaves 1-0 win in that one. It's actually been a bit of a bumpy couple of games for Bilbao. Coming into this, though, 31-10 is your Bilbao for the odds here. 12-5 is your Jordan, 10-9 on your Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal will win this game. I think they could get a point out of it. But ultimately, I'm going to lean towards a shot Bilbao victory on the first round of games. And the San Mams. Let's go PSV Eindhoven taking on Union Saint-Gilloise in a bit of a Flemish encounter over at the Philips Stadion. Eindhoven under Peter Boas coming into this 83% form for them right now, just one defeat in the last 6 against Union Saint-Gilloise under Sebastian Pognoli, who are unbeaten in at least the last 6, if not in fact the last 10 away matches. Coming into this, they have played each other, of course. Previously, it was a friendly, doesn't really count. But coming into this, St. Gilloise are on the back of that 1-0 win of Adenda over the Jupiler League in Belgium, with PSV Eindhoven picking up a 5-3 win over Nijmegen in the Dutch leagues to get back to winning ways, following on a surprise defeat against Telstar. The odds here: 6-5 on is your PSV, 10-3. St. Gilloise, 13-5 is the draw again. Coming at you this coming Tuesday, going to go with a win for PSV on this one. Let's go to Real Madrid as they take on Marseille. Coming at you the Bernabeu. Madrid under Xabi Alonso. They've won 5 in the bouts. Coming into this up against Marseille under Roberto De Zerbi, who've won 3 and lost 2 over the last 6. Now, they have played 4 times since 2003. Each and every one of those games in the Champions League, and each and every one of those ending up with a win for Real Madrid. The last time we played in Spain was a 3-0 win for Real Madrid way back in September 2009. Coming into this, Madrid are on the back of that 2-1 win over Sociedad. Good victories, but the bookies will go 3-1 on for your Madrid, 13-2 your Marseille, 92 the draw, of course. Madrid want to win this one, of course. Xabi Alonso 2. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Madrid at home to get off to a great start for them. Meanwhile, Juventus under Igor Tudor taking on Dortmund under Niko Kovac. That's right, 2 Croatians in the dugout coming at the Allianz Stadium. Juventus are looking good right now, winning 5 in the bounce up against Dortmund, who are unbeaten in at least the last 4. Now, they have played 5 times in 2008. Of course, the last time was way back in February 2015. It was a 2-1 win for Juventus in the Champions League round of 16. Dortmund are on the back, though, of a 2-0 win over Heidenheim. Back-to-back clean sheets for them up against Juventus on the back of that 7-goal thriller against Internazionale. Bookies for this one, even Stevens is Juventus 13-5, though, is your Dortmund 5-2 is the draw. I have been impressed with Juventus this season, and I think they could actually cause some problems here. 2-0 winners, Juventus taking the victory. Meanwhile, Benfica taking on Kairat, coming at you at the Estadio de Sport Lisboa. Benfica are under Bruno Laga's stewardship here. 83% form for them right now. Unbeaten in at least the last 9. Up against Kairat under Gubanov, the coolest name in town. But they're coming into this on the back of just 1 win in the last 4. Now, coming into this, Kairat did pick up a draw against Zira in their domestic top flight. Benfica also picking up a draw against Santa Clara Azores. The bookies for this, they go with Benfica 11-2 on for the victory. 12-1 is your long shots. That is Kairat. 6-1 is the draw. Of course, Kairat could see this as a potential banana skin here for Benfica if they can get a goal or so. I'm going to go with a, what am I going for? I'm going with a 3-1 win for Benfica. They should win this game, but Kairat could cause a bit of a problem. Final game, I believe, on Tuesday the 16th. It is Tottenham, it is Villarreal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Of course, Tommy Frank's boys are looking good at the moment. They've won 3 and lost 1 over the last 4 up against Villarreal and Marcelino. Back-to-back games now without a win. Now, coming into this, they played a pre-season friendly a long time ago, back in July 2010. Spurs, they won the back of that 3-0 impressive win away to West Ham. Villarreal losing to Atlético this past week to make it back-to-back games now, both sides of that international break. The bookies for this one, Spurs 65 on for the victory, 3-1. Villarreal 27-10 is the draw. Got to back Frankie's boys here. Going to go with a 2-0 win. Villarreal have started the season okay in La Liga, but of course that last bit of form not the best. Moving into Wednesday, we go. It's the 17th of September. It's Slavia Prague up against Borussia coming out of the Fortuna Arena. Jindřich Čeprovský coming into unbeaten in the last 6. In fact, they haven't lost any of the last 15 matches and any of the last 11 at home. Up against Borussia under Nigel Knudsen, they're coming into this just 1 defeat in the last 6, and that defeat was actually in the qualification phase here. 2-1 loss to Sturm Graz. But the last match was a 7-1 win over Krostianlund in the Norwegian top flight. Slavia Prague picking up a win against Karvina in their domestic top flight. Both sides coming into on home wins. The bookies for this one, 4-3 on is your Slavia Prague, 27-10. Your Bodo Glimt, 27-10 is the draw. This one could go either way. And I think I am sitting on the fence here with a 1-1 scoreline. Keep an eye on the Bodo Glimt surprise package, and they would like to, I think they got a chance to make into the top 8. And be a very, very dark horse once again. Meanwhile, Olympiakos taking on Paphos in a bit of a Mediterranean encounter. Olympiakos under Jose Luis Mendembar coming into this, winning 3 on the spin up against Paphos. Under 1, Carlos Carredo. 2 Spaniards in the dugout in this metropolitan surprise loss against Apollon and Limassol. Most recently, Olympiakos beating Panathinaikos in the Greek top flight there to make it we've got 3 clean sheets on the spin for Olympiakos, scoring 9 goals without return. The bookies for this one, Olympiakos 50-21 on for the victory. The local red hot favourites, 60-5 the draw, 7-1 is your long shot. I think I have to go with Olympiakos at home, 2-0 winners, extend that clean sheet record, and of course put a big 3-pointer for them to start their campaign. Bayern up against Chelsea, probably one of the game of the rounds. This one's over at the Allianz Arena. Of course, Bayern München and Company Company. They've won 6 in the bounce, looking good right now. Draws. They played 7 times in 2005. 5 wins Bayern, 2 wins Chelsea. There has been no draws. Now, the last time they played in Germany, it was a 4-1 win for Bayern back in August 2020. That was in the Champions League, of course, round of 16. That was primetime COVID, it looks like. A bit of a weird one, yeah. Bayern have actually won 4 on the bounce against Chelsea in all competitions, all sizes. Bayern, though, on the back of that 5-0 win over Hamburg. They've actually scored 11 goals in the last 3 games. Chelsea on the back of that 2-2 score draw away to Brentford. We are looking for the odds here. 20-30 on your Bayern, 50-4 is your Chelsea, 10-3 is the draw. Got to go with Bayern here at home, 3-1 win. But Chelsea looking good. And Inter Milan coming at you over at the Johan Cruyff Arena. Ajax under John Hetanga, unbeaten the last 6 matches. Up against Inter under Christian Chivu, they'll make it back-to-back defeats for them. They have played Ajax 7 times in 2002. 1 win for Ajax, 4 wins for Inter. There's been 2 draws. They last played competitively in a serious game over at Amsterdam as a 2-2 scoreline way back in February 2006. Amsterdam or Ajax are on the back of that 3-1 win over Zwolle, into losing that 7-goal thriller against Juventus to make it back-to-back defeats in Serie A. The odds for this one, 14-5 is your Ajax, 2017 on is your Inter. They are favoured here. 11-4 is the draw. I don't know if it's that cut and dry. I've gone with a 2-2 scoreline right in the middle. I cannot decide right now. Liverpool up against Atlético, another game of the round. That's right, coming out at Anfield. Arne Slot's boys are top of the pops in the Premier League. Of course, they've won 4 in the bounce up against Atlético under Diego Simeone, who have only won once in the last 4. They played Liverpool 10 times since 2008. We have 3 wins Liverpool, 5 wins Atlético. There's been 2 draws. They last played over at Anfield. It was a 2-0 win for Liverpool back in November 2021. Of course, Liverpool win back-to-back games over Atlético, and they're coming into on the back of that back-to-back clean sheets, beating Arsenal and then Burnley by 1-0 scorelines. Atletico also getting their first win of the La Liga campaign, beating Villarreal most recently. 5-3 on is your Liverpool, 17-4 is your Atletico, 31-10 is the draw. 2-0 win. That's right. Liverpool getting the points and, of course, kicking their campaign off to a flyer. The champions, PSG. Enrique, they won 5 on the spin in all shapes and all sizes. Against Atalanta under Ivan Juric, picking up just a 1 win in the last 6. They played once. Of course, it was in the Champions League. It was the quarterfinals way back in August 2020. It was in Atalanta. It was during COVID, of course. Atalanta beating Lecce most recently. PSG on the back of that 2-0 win of a lens to make it back-to-back wins for them so far. In fact, 4 wins on the spin for them. They've actually scored 8 goals in the last 2 games combined. Odds for this one, 29 on is your PSG, 90-4 is your Atalanta, 50-4 is the draw. We're going to go with a PSG victory. They look good. Goal bonanza here, 4-2 winners. In the end, meanwhile, we're going to go into the next round, or the next set of games here on Thursday, the 18th of September, coming out to the Parkenstadion. Copenhagen and Jakob Niestrup, just 1 defeat in the last 6, up against Leverkusen under Kasper Hulsmund. 2 Danes in the dugout this time around, as of course Leverkusen getting back to 2 winning ways last time around. Now, these 2 clubs have played 3 times since 2014. Played over in Copenhagen. It was a 3-2 win for Leverkusen back in August 2014. Copenhagen did lose to Brøndby. Of course, Stevie Cooper's Brøndby this match weekend. Leverkusen with a 3-1 win under the new coach, of course. The bookies for this one, 23-10 is your Copenhagen, 11-10 is your Bayer Leverkusen, 25 is a draw. I've gone for a bit of a surprise on this one. I think I've got Copenhagen not losing this one. I've got them winning it. 2-1 winners over a Leverkusen, maybe still finding the feet under the new coach, of course, and it is over in Denmark. Meanwhile, Club Brugge, they're taking on Monaco, coming at you over at the Jan Brodal Stadium. Club Brugge and Nicky Hayden on the back of back-to-back games now without a win. Monaco under Adi Hüttler, they've won 3 and lost 1 over the last 4. Now, they played 3 times in 2003, 1 win apiece and 1 draw. And that's played competitively over in Belgium back in October 2018. It was a 1-1 scoreline in the Champions League. Meanwhile, coming into this, Club Brugge did lose to La Louve in the Junior League, with Monaco picking up a 2-1 win away to Auxerre. The odds for this one, 13-8 is your Club Brugge, 31-20 is your Monaco, 12-5. The draw here, I'm going to go with another draw, 1-1 as well. Point a piece. Meanwhile, the Geordies taking on Barcelona, coming out at the St. James's Park. Of course, Eddie Howe's boys just 1 win in the last 6 matches up against Barcelona under Hansi Flick. That's right, over 92% form for them right now, unbeaten in at least the last 8. They played twice since 2002, 2 wins out of 2 for Barcelona, including the last time they played at St. James's Park back in March 2003. The Geordies did though win against Wolves to make it back-to-back clean sheets for them. Barcelona did draw though their last match against Vallecano. They must be playing a little bit later on today because I'm recording this on Sunday as well. The bookies odds for this one right here, right now, we've got the Geordies at 21-10 for the victory, 11-10 is your Barcelona, 27-10 is the draw. We're going to go with an away win here. Barcelona adding a 3rd victory over the Geordies in quick succession. And then moving on, we've got Man City up against Napoli. Coming at you over at the Etihad. Man City are under Pep Guardiola. 3 wins, 3 defeats over the last 6 up against Napoli under Antonio Conte, who've won 6 on the bloody bounce. Now, they played 4 times in 2011. 2 wins City, 1 wins for Napoli. There's been 1 draw. They last played over at this very venue. It was a 2-1 win for City back in October 2017. It's been back-to-back wins for City. And they're coming into on the back of that 3-0 win over Manchester United. Napoli, though, on the back of that 3-1 win over Fiorentina themselves. Again, looking good on form for them. 10-7 on is your City, 50-4 is your Napoli, 3-1 is a draw. I'm going to go with a surprise here. I'm going to go with another 2-2 scoreline. Napoli may even nick it, if I'm honest with you. Final couple, we've got Eintracht Frankfurt taking on Galatasaray. Coming in the Deutsche Bank Park. Frankfurt under Dino Topmuller just won, actually coming into this on the back of a defeat. Up against Galatasaray under Okan Buric, they've won 5 on the spin. Now, these 2 clubs have yet to play each other. Frankfurt are on the back of that loss against Leverkusen. Meanwhile, Galatasaray picking up a 2-0 win over Sport in the Superliga over in Italy. Excuse me. Looking at the odds right here, right now, Galatasaray are 23-10 for the victory. 21-20 is your Frankie. 27-10 is a draw. This could be a draw as well, but I'm going to lean towards Frankfurt with a W, a 2-0 win in the end. And then finally, we've got Sporting Lisbon against Kairat. That's right, coming out of the Estadio Jose Alvade. Sporting Lisbon under Rui Bojas. They've won 4 of the last 5. And against Kairat under Ruben Usmatain, they've won 3 on the bounce, of course. Never played each other, these 2 clubs. Coming into this, though, Sporting Lisbon on the back of that 2-0 win over Falamacao. Kairat picking up a 1-0 win over Aktobe in their domestic top flight, making back-to-back clean sheets for them. Coming into this, though, 9-1 on is your Sporting, 18-1 your Kairat, and 9-1 is the draw. But it is going to be a home win on this one. Don't have many away wins here. 3-0 winners, Sporting taking it to the house. And, of course, that will complete my picks. Of course, I should already have a league, but we're not going to do it this time around. We'll do it next time. But until then, subscribe, smash the like. Of course, we do have a prediction league. The link will be down in the description down below. So make sure you check that out. But until then, I'll see you soon whenever I return. But until then, I am done.